Hi, in this video we're going to be talking about yet another USB all-in-one toolkit that you could use to try and repair and recover your computer when things go wrong. So this one's called ANHDV Boot. So there is a free version and a subscription version. So we're going to be talking about the free version. So if you go to their website, you can see the differences here. There's the premium, which is $750 a year. And here are all the different features here. So this is what you can't do with the free one. So this may or may not be a deal breaker for you, but even the free one has a lot of nice tools. All right, and then if you go to the features page here, you can see all the tools that come with it. So this is very similar to a lot of the other ones like, Medicat or Hiren's Boot CD. All right, so what we're going to do is show you how to make the flash drive and then we'll try it out. So if you go to the download page, make sure you click on the right one because there's a lot of ads like this. So you want to look for this download link here. You could use one of these. I just did Google Drive, for example, and it's going to be a zip file, and then it has the password for the zip file right here. All right, so I have the zip file here. So if you try and extract it, just using the Windows File Explorer tool here, for example, go to Extract All. You can see it can't do it. Double click it, it can't open it. So you're going to have to use something like 7-zip. So you could install that real quick. Then you could right click on it, open with, choose 7-zip, or you could just open 7-zip and then open the zip file from there. All right, so here's where we got to put in the password, like so. Just fit on the screen here a little better. All right, so now within the zip file here, here's the main ISO. You got a user manual, some other tools. So if you want to use like boot ice to make your flash drive, you could do that from here. Ultra ISO. So the user manual here, help file, images and so on to go along with it. All right, so we're going to take the main ISO file here. We're just going to drag it onto the desktop. So just make sure you have room for it. It's about 2.5 gigs. Let's close that out. All right, so to create our flash drive here, I'm going to use Rufus, which I have on this other drive here. All right, so I have the portable version here, so nothing to install. So you have to be an administrator to run it. I'm going to skip the updates. All right, so it found my flash drive, so make sure you're using a flash drive that you don't care about because it's going to get wiped in the process. And then we need to pick our ISO file here, which I have on the desktop. All right, so now if you're going to be using it on a newer computer, you're probably going to want to choose GPT, and then you'll have UEFI. And then since this is smaller than 4 gigs, you could use FAT32 if you like. And if you press Alt-E, watch what happens down here on the bottom. So using the dual UEFI BIOS mode, so you could enable that if you think you'll need it for both. So that's up to you, so you might want to research that before you choose that option. All right, so now that it's ready to go here, all we need to do is click on Start. So it's telling us that everything will be wiped on the flash drive, so we'll click OK. All right, so this will take a couple minutes here, and you'll probably pop up a couple File Explorer windows. All right, so I'll pause the video and be back when it's done, and we'll try it out. Okay, so the flash drive has been created. We could take a look at it if we want to see what's on it. All right, so you can see the contents right there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is shut down the computer, restart it with our new flash drive here, and we'll see how it works. So I'll be right back. All right, loading files. We have a Windows 11 logo here. So it might look like it's booting into Windows, but it's not. It's just booting into our WinPE environment here. All right, here's our desktop. So it gives us some information about the computer we're running it on. We have a little Windows 11 style start button here. So we could restart or shut down if needed. We got the run command, command prompt, control panel, this PC, and we could actually access the C drive. So some of these tools will kind of run in a RAM disk and have like a virtual, Windows drive. With this one here, we have our entire C drive there. All right, then we have several tools on the desktop, and then we also have them here under all programs. So they're categorized here. So you'll find, some of them here and all of them here. I've noticed in some of these bootable flash drives that they will have certain tools on the desktop that are not included in here. So keep that in mind. So you might want to kind of check through them and see if there's anything extra on the desktop that you don't have in the menus here. All right, so real quick, let's just go through the categories and we'll just see what we have available here. All right, we have our antivirus and office tools here. And even some other tools that aren't really related, PDF and VLC media player. All right, we have some apps here. So boot ice, you could use that to make flash drives here, delete your temp files, fix boot windows. And this one opens up some additional tools all in one place here, so this is kind of nice too. And a lot of these tools will have Macrium Reflect as well, and this is usually the free version because it's not free any longer. You even have Partition Master and Easy BCD. Then we also have the options here to restart Explorer, set the page file, show all partitions. Right, then we have the backup tools, True Image, Active Disk Image, Macrium Reflect again, Terabyte Image. So a lot of nice tools here. So let's open up Macrium Reflect, for example. Let's see which version we have. Let's see what we got here. So we have version 10. So I think 8 might be the last version that is still free, so I'm not sure how well this will work. It should work as a trial, I suppose, if you really needed to use it. All right, let's see what else we got here. And you can see as you open up these tools, it'll put them in kind of like your history here, if you want to get back to them real quickly. All right, then we have some driver tools here. If you want to install some drivers from a folder. Hard disk tools, check disk GUI. You can use active kill disk to wipe drives. Check your hard drive speed. Even crystal disk info. Nice one to have. Do some low-level formatting. RAID reconstructor, SSD life, SSD Z. And if you have a Western Digital drive, you could use the Lifeguard diagnostics. All right, then info and test tools. CPU Z, that's a common one. Core temp, it's a good one too. HW info is a classic. Same with HW monitor. Even the mem test tool, space sniffer. So if you want to find what kind of files are taking up the space on your drive, you could use that. Test your sound and microphone, test your webcam. Winderstat, another one to check your drive space. All right, internet tools. DNS jumper, download manager, good old remote desktop, and TeamViewer, and UltraViewer as well. All right, partition tools. A lot of good tools here, especially DiskGenius. So if you want to do some cloning, NTFS to FAT32, that's a nice one. A lot of Paragon tools, Partition Assistant, Partition Wizard. All right, then password tools, active password changer. So one thing to keep in mind with these password tools is you're probably just going to be using these for local accounts, not necessarily Microsoft accounts, because you'll have to do that via the Microsoft website. But you could do things such as, unlock the built-in administrator account and get into your computer that way. All right, so we have active password changer, PC unlocker, reset Windows password, Windows login unlocker. So a lot of nice ones here. All right, recovery tools. So if you need to recover some files or data, you could try these out here. All right, system tools. A lot of system tools here. DISM++ is a good one. Easy BCD, easy UEFI, everything search. That's a nice one too. Even regedit or find your product key. Total Commander is nice too. So if you want another file manager, you could use that. All right, so I think that's about it for the menus here. And then, like I said, you have some stuff on the desktop that you could check out just in case these are different than what's in the little start menu there. All right, so as you can see, this is a pretty useful tool, just like the other ones. And if you use something like Ventoy, you could put a bunch of these tools all on one flash drive, assuming you have the room, and then you could use whatever one you want as needed. All right, so I'll put a link in the description where you could download ANHDV and you could try it out for yourself. All right, thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe.